Thank you for staying with us, everyone. Now let's move to our second conversation. The Nigeria Police Council on Monday unanimously ratified the appointment of Tunji Disu as Inspector General of Police. The Police Council, comprising President Bola Tinubu, the governors of the 36 states of the Federation, FCT ministers, have unanimously endorsed the appointment of Tunji Disu as Substantive Inspector General of Police. The Nigeria Police Council is chaired by the President and comprises the governors of the 36 states of the Federation, the Chairman of the Police Service Commission, and Inspector General of Police. This endorsement has paved the way for his swearing-in by President Bola Tinubu on Wednesday. Tonight, let's get more perspectives on the task ahead of Nigeria's 23rd Indigenous IGP. So tonight, let's speak with AIG Olatoye Idrisime, retired, former CP Akwa Ibom State, former AIG Zone 2 Lagos, on this significant moment for the nation's police leadership. AIG, thank you very much for joining me on the program. Thank you, sir.
Good evening, Jumoke. Good evening, Nigerians. To our Muslim brothers and sisters, I say Ramadan Kareem.
Thank you very much, sir. So we're talking about the new IGP, and for a while and for a decade, tackling corruption and restoring the trust of Nigerians has before now looked like the toughest for past IGPs. And what we have seen over the years is a force whose personnel ought to be friends to the populace is perceived more as an enemy. How difficult is the task ahead of the new IGP?
Yeah, first of all, I want to congratulate the retired IGP, Oluka Betokun. He has put up his best, and Nigerians are grateful. Our classmates are grateful for what he has done. And we as brothers, we are grateful for what he has done. I congratulate him. He still remains the fastest thinking IGP I ever know. And I wish him the best in his retirement life. I want to congratulate Olatunji Adio, Railway and Disu for the appointment. It's a round peg in the round hole. I told him 26 years ago that I saw the IGP rank in his shoulders and he laughed over it. I reminded him too, some 10 years ago, that the posting he's getting, God Almighty is preparing him for a task, and that he will become the IGP at a critical time in Nigerian history, and it has come to pass. I congratulate him once again. When people talk about corruption, I'm surprised when people are talking of police. Police is not the most corrupt organization, and I do not believe that police is corrupt. What the problem of the police is that for everything they need, most of the time we don't have it. Starting from the common paper you need at the charge room, you have to go and look for it. Either you photocopy somewhere, and we have a printing press that's supposed to supply all the stationaries. It is not there. Look at the issue of fueling. When we got to this job, if you are traveling officially with official vehicle from Lagos to Kano, you don't need to put extra fuel in your car. At every state capital you get to, you get the fuel. And when you are returning, it's the same. Even if your vehicle gets bad, what will happen is that the state command will repair that vehicle for you. What has happened over years, I don't know. So the situation is that Nigerians must actually be able to fund the police very well. And when police are well funded, the issue of asking for this or asking for that from complainants will be a thing of the past. Police is not corrupt. I stand to be corrected.
But say you don't know what has changed or what is responsible for this decadence in the police system. I'm sure it would not sound so good to many Nigerians watching. I mean, you are a retired AIG, so you should be able to tell us what may have happened that has caused this this decadence. Again, I mean, this decadence in the system. Is it the leadership? Is it the leadership structure in the police system? Is this a matter of political interference? I mean, you must be able to point to something that may have caused us what we have today.
The major thing is lack of funding.
Okay.
I will say it anywhere, that police is not getting what is required in Nigeria. And if you don't give the police what you want, what is expected of them, we run into a problem. I was a CP of Akwa Ibom State and AIG Zone 2, no official vehicles for me. It was the members of my family that rallied around and bought me a Camry I used throughout my stay. Is that not embarrassing? You are talking of information money. You can't even get it somewhere. We're supposed to even feed prisoners. We can't get it anywhere. Most times they will say they appropriate a particular amount of money for the police, but does it get to the right source? It will not get to them until the last minute. I do not know. We thank God that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was a governor before. He was able to fund the RRS in Lagos, which was even independent of the normal budget. I think we need him to come up again and establish the same at the federal level. We have a rapid response unit at the federal level to be funded with a special fund, maybe a law to the National Assembly, to create a special fund for the police, whereby we can get funds from the corporate bodies, from oil companies, from individuals who want the best for Nigeria. That is the only way we can be able to get even common patrol vehicles and fueling, repairs and all the rest. This issue of going to the police station, you want to go and make an arrest, you say, there's no vehicle, there's no fuel, there will be a thing of the past. Police deserve special funding. And I think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is in position to correct that mistake now. If the money gets to the police, it will get to the right places. But I can say with authority that most time, the money budgeted for police never get to the police to spend.
Okay, so now you've just spoken to the challenge that comes with leadership outside the police system. So let's come to what happens within the rank. Because while there's been like a lot of conversations about how this appointment rekindles hope of better things to come in police and citizens engagement, some stakeholders have also talked about how there must be deliberate efforts in restoring dignity to the uniform, rebuilding trust between the streets and the station, and proving that integrity at the top can actually cascade into accountability at every rank. So from your years of experience, what is responsible for the structural imbalances within the force? Is it also lack of funding?
Well, primarily, money says when it is not there, don't talk of anything good. Funding is a major one, and probably unmerited promotion sometimes, what the so-called special promotion. I don't want to use the word warn now to the IGP that it should never engage in the so-called special promotion. A situation whereby a junior becomes a senior, it is not the best. But in addition to that, if you have enough fund, you have the vehicles, you have all other logistics needed. When there's a complaint, there's something happening, within 5 minutes, the police will get there. When Tunji Disu was in charge of RRS in Lagos, by the time you called for emergency, within 5 to 10 minutes, the response time used to be 5 minutes, you will see 3 vehicles coming to that scene. Those vehicles are able to get there because they have a special place to collect fuel. They have a special, they replace their vehicles when it's no longer good. And they paid them allowance. All the boys in that involved in the RRS are paid special allowances. So they cannot be complaining of we like money and all that. And that's why that organization is still a model till today. The most important thing is let people get promotion of merit, not promoting junior on top of the senior, and let the fund be there when it's needed. If the police in Nigeria are given the necessary logistics, Jumoke, I'm telling you, 70% of the security problem in Nigeria will be solved.
All right. So there is another challenge, which is about security agencies in this country. I mean, over the years, we've seen that the security agencies in Nigeria have historically faced coordination challenges. Some have talked about overlapping mandates. There's also the issue of competition for jurisdiction, political interference. We may come to that if time permits us, and resource control. So how should the IGP handle interagency rivalry?
Well, the IGP, the current IGP, is an experienced police officer. He has spent most of his time in operational duties, either as OC, RRS in Lagos for about 5 years. In fact, from CSP, he became an ACP there. Or when he was in Oyo State as OC anti-robbery, heading the anti-robbery. In Ondo State, OC anti-robbery. In Rivers, OC anti-robbery. He has always been operationally involved. He has been dealing with the DSS, the Army, and other organizations, even the vigilante group. He's an experienced person. What matters, that's a proverb my grandmother used to tell me, that if a man sees snake and a woman kills that snake, the most important thing is for the snake to die. We need to bring everybody together because security is all encompassing. We need to work together. whether you are in the army, whether you are in the police, whether you are a vigilante, even the neighborhood watchers, we need to bring them together and know that police remain the first step in internal security. We, police, are the one in charge of internal security, and others should come together and work with us. The most important is when there's something bad happen, they will say, where is the police? Nobody will say, where is the DSS? Nobody will say, where is the army? Nobody will say, where is the vigilante group? It is the police they will ask for. I keep on saying that in most jurisdictions, after God, the next thing you think about is the police. So the police is the leading agency in internal security. We must all recognize that. And anybody coming to work with the police know that when it comes to internal security, it is their own. The Constitution is very clear about it. You don't bring in other organizations. In fact, the army will not even come into a scene unless it is permitted by the President of Nigeria. Section 417 of the Constitution is very clear about it. When there is anything beyond the powers of the police, the Commissioner of Police will inform the IGP. IGP will inform the President, and the President will direct the army to join the police or to take over the situation. And when the situation is brought to normalization, the Commissioner of Police will be handed over to continue the duty. But we must know, Nigeria must know, that the police is number one when it comes to internal security. And when you're coming to support the police, you must be in alignment with them.
All right. So quickly, what is your position on the creation of state police? And I'm asking because as a nation, we operate a highly centralized policing system controlled from Abuja. And if you look at the size of this country, our diversity as a people, and this security crisis we've been trying to tame for a while, is this model still fit for purpose? Are we mistaking control for effectiveness?
Well, it is high time that we have the state police. I've been saying that I'm an advocate of state police. We can no longer depend on the federal police for our security. When we have state police, it means that we have more boots on the ground. And it is very simple. I said it the other time on this station, that it's just a matter of amending the section 214 of the Constitution, which says there shall be a police in Nigeria to be known as the Nigerian Police Force, and there shall be no any other police force in any part thereof. It is time we go into that. The president is ready to do that. The governors are ready to do it. And I think any right-thinking Nigerian should support the idea of state policing because it is no longer possible to actually police Nigeria from Abuja. The states too should have. Right now, we have something, a semblance of the state police, virtually everywhere. And once it is permitted by law with this amendment, it means that it has become official, they will be trained. But there must be a notion, we have to be very careful about it. I advise the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to set up a committee to look into it. Why we have Northern Nigerian Police before, we have Western Nigerian Police before. In fact, where I trained in Kaduna, I used to see a placard there in one of the buildings. They said Northern Nigerian Police College there. It's not new. Why was it no longer in operation? Why was it stopped before? The abuse there before, we must align it and see what can we do to ensure that this state police will not be abused again. That is the work of the committee. The committee will sit down together for a period of time and actually draft a law to amend section 214 of the Constitution.
But is it a valid concern?
Yeah, it is a valid concern because virtually insecurity is everywhere. I would rather work with a state police than work with other organizations.
No. What I'm asking, ARG, what I'm asking is, I fear that state police could be misused by governors, sufficient grounds to abandon the idea altogether.
Well, necessity is the mother of invention. In the last 20, 30 years, before this time, we never had problem to this level. Police was better funded at the federal level. The mobile police was well funded. In fact, most of the work the army is doing in internal security now is what the PMF was doing before. Now that it has come to this, and it's in those days when there is baccalaureate riots, Kano Matasini riots, and so many other things, the police will be able to cope with it, and it will be put to an end, and then the army go back to their barrack. But now we have multivarious problems here and there. Virtually every state in Nigeria, every part of Nigeria is with security challenges. So if every state has police, it means that this police we are talking about, that is state police, is known. They will know the environment very well, and they will be funded by the state government. There is enough money in security fund that the governors take home every month. And I'm sure with the state police, the abuse will be addressed when the president set up a committee to look into the establishment of state police. All those things we'll study the past. We look at what happened in America. I'm in America right now. And I know that where I am, I've seen state police, I've seen the police at the precinct level, I've seen trooper, I've seen state and that of the local government working together without any problem. We are ripe for that in Nigeria.
All right. But without being economical with the truth, Mr. Latwe, is the office of the IGP structurally vulnerable to political pressure?
I don't think so. The IGP is IGP of Nigeria, not IGP of any political party, not the IGP of any person. It's just that the appointment must be carried out by the president of Nigeria. As far as I'm concerned, it's a professional and it must work with the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Simple. When people say under political pressure, are you saying there's a riot somewhere, the police will not go there and quell the riot? Are you saying when there's kidnapping somewhere, the police will not go there and do the right thing? Police is a professional body. It's just the Constitution have allowed the president to make the appointment. And after that appointment, the police council will approve it. And then the National Assembly will approve it. So where is the politics coming from? Police IGP is a professional seat. It's a professional person. And he must obey the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended.
All right. So just for the purpose of clarity and emphasis, and also, I mean, if you consider this latest development, how independent can the new IGP realistically be under Nigeria's political structure? I mean, we've seen several governors congratulating him, going to visit him in his office. How realistic, how independent can he be under this Nigeria's political structure?
As far as I'm concerned, Olatunji Adeorewa Disu is a professional to the core, an incorruptible officer, an officer who believes in rule of law, and an officer who believes in the Nigerian 1999 Constitution. An officer that has worked in every part of, Google his name, you will see all those positions he has carried out before. And this is an officer who will tell you to your face, this is not possible, sir, if you ask him to do something. He is apolitical, and he will remain apolitical throughout his sitting on that seat.
All right. We have limited time on the program, but quickly, I'm aware you're also a lawyer. So are there constitutional or legal bottlenecks limiting effective policing in Nigeria? If you look at the Police Act 2020, does the act go far enough? Would you call for an amendment? No,
the 2020 Police Act is a comprehensive law. I've gone through it. One of those things it brings out is that private guards, that is to say, the people following the VIPs, it makes the law very clear that the police can actually train in the group of men, arm them, and give them to people who need police. I'm one of those people who believe that police cannot just withdraw from VIP guards, because one of those functions Nigerian police is constitutionally permitted to do. We continue to do that, but we can train men for corporate bodies like banks, like oil companies, and we can still make our men useful in like Dangote organization, Dangote as a conglomerate, and other bodies like that. It is our constitutional duty. For instance, when you talk of the civil defense, I've not seen anywhere in the world where civil defense perform the work of VIP protection, except in Nigeria now. So police is to protect life and property and provide guard for VIP is one of them. But at the same time, we must limit the number of men available and train men. When we train them, we give them to the corporate body, we give them to they can, in fact, an officer can aspire to the level of a commissioner of police under the 2020 Act of the Police Act. It is very clear that police is to protect life and property. In addition to that, I will expect the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to actually look for a way of funding the police. That is to say, send a law to the National Assembly where we can have extra funding, maybe using the corporate body, bringing individual that can actually make it possible. Because without funding, it will be difficult to meet the need of the police in terms of logistics and allowances needed. For instance, why can't we have the air wing?
Let's stay on this, Mr. Olatoye, the issue of funding and welfare, because I mean, I would always make reference to my conversation with former IGP Michael Kiro. He says every IGP knows what to do about the welfare of his people. So if you're saying the president must fund the police, are you taking that responsibility off the IGP?
No, what I'm saying is that the usual budget of Nigeria, most of the time, don't meet the need of the police. There are some other needs of Nigeria. It's not only although security is paramount, according to Section 4, 1B of the Constitution that says that security and the welfare of the people is the primary purpose of government. I agree. But like the president did when he was a governor in Lagos, there's a robust fund that he made available through contribution from corporate bodies, which made police demand whatever the need of the police is. For instance, now we can no longer depend on movement. I mean, road patrol and all that. We need helicopters, helicopter gunboats, and the air bases in every region of Nigeria. If police is very strong on the air, most of the crime that we are seeing in every part of Nigeria will be put to a halt. That is why we need funding. But from the normal budget, you can't get such fund. It will be very, very difficult.
So should the current IGP or the acting IGP prioritize salary reform over equipment modernization? What do you think?
And we need, I read somewhere that I think Nigerian police is one of the least paid in West Africa, if not the least paid. We need to talk about good salary, good allowances, good medical, because when you are injured in the police, who cares for you? It's only yourself. You have to depend on your family members to take care of you medically. And if we have enough fund and we have the welfare, even when you go for operation, you know that when you are injured, there is somebody that will take care of you. And when you retire too, like I said the other time, what's about the salary of the pension of a commissioner of police is nothing to write home about. And don't talk of other officers. Even common official car for a commissioner of police is not available. As an AIG, I depended on the car bought for me by a family member. Is that fair? That is not
absolutely
fair.
Not. All right. But what reforms would you suggest in terms of recruitment and training?
Right now in Nigeria police, we lack enough manpower. That is to say the rank and file. Because during the time of IGP Okiro, I think something happened. We missed the recruitment for one thing or the other, maybe for lack of fund. You know, discover that ordinarily the senior officers, SPU, are not supposed to be going about with a long range. We discover that we don't have more senior officers because of that gap in recruitment is affecting the police today. So I still want to plead with the president to ensure to order mass recruitment, and this mass recruitment must not be just for anybody. There must be the people who are qualified mentally, physically, physiologically, and that can actually do the job. We need to recruit more police officers and train them adequately, home and abroad.
Okay. So quickly before I let you go, what did previous IGPs get wrong that Olatunji Disu must avoid?
He must avoid unmerited promotion called special promotion. He must ensure he must be firm and be fair, and he must ensure that he has enough knowledge of Nigeria. He continues to make it known that we are not supposed to be corrupted. We are not corrupt. We are incorruptible.
All right. Because
he demonstrated in him. He should let others follow his own example, because I can trust him. He's one of the best officers we have in Nigerian police.
I mean, so much has been said about him, and expectations are high, and we're hoping that he performs exceedingly well. Thank you very much for speaking with me tonight. AIG Olatoye Duro, I do apologize, AIG Olatoye Duro, retired, former CP Akwa Ibom State, former AIG Zone 2 Lagos. Thank you so much for speaking with me, sir.
Thank you, Jumoke, for having me.
Thank you. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. That's our package tonight. But let's tell you that you can watch this again at 12:30 a.m. I am Olajumoke Olatunji. Good night, everyone.